How are you? I'm Bradley Grinnan, an elite performance and Fortune 500 executive coach. You know me already if you found this page, at least on some level, or somebody sent you here. Either way, glad to have you with me. This specific training is for the Executive Edge Elite Daily Planner. And I'm just going to walk you through how to leverage this and how to use this so you can drastically increase your quality of life. I'm talking about creating and carving out more time for you. You will be amazed at how much time you actually get back. How to do the right things for you, not what I consider the right things for you, what you consider the right things for you, because you'll be determining those things. Live into your values, create the kind of life that you want, that you've been trying to do. And most of you, if you're here, you've already had some modicum of success in your life, and you're looking to transfer that knowledge and those skill sets to increase and have more success in other areas of your life. And elite performance, this doesn't mean you're better than everybody else. Elite performance means you're bringing the best possible version of yourself to your life, to your days, to each moment in your day. So sounds like a whole lot of heady talk, but it's really not. This is what we do. So now, glad you found us. Hope you're able to download the Executive Edge Planner. If you haven't, feel free to email me, bradley@bradleygrinnan.com. I'll try to have that somewhere here on the page, and we'll just make sure you get it. If you don't have it, just pause, email it to me. I'll email it back to you, and you can get it out. But you can follow along with this training. And so let's get into it, shall we? I want to start by, let me share my screen here real quick. All right, here we go. So I want to start with just a couple. Can you all see this? All right. Awesome. Cool. So this is the example sheet, sweet. But what I want to do is I want to start by just laying down a couple foundational principles for you to know. The first thing is, whenever I'm doing this with an elite performance client or a Fortune 500 client, there are two things that we've already done. The very first thing is we've already walked through an exercise. This goes over about 3 weeks, where we are drilling down and helping that person find out exactly, with clarity, massive clarity, exactly what is their purpose in life. Why are they on the planet? Now, this term purpose has so much baggage to it. For what we're doing here today, purpose is, why do you do what you do? Because once you kind of get that North Star and you know why you're doing what you do, that also helps drive you forward in everything you do. It's not just the fuel, it's the fuel, the engine, most of the mechanics of pushing you forward. Why are you doing anything that's on your calendar if it isn't aligned with your purpose? If it isn't aligned with your purpose, shouldn't be on your calendar, shouldn't make it to your daily planner. So that's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is we absolutely want to find out, what do you want? Like what is your heart's desire here? Whoop, that's not red. Let's go with the red. You have to excuse my, I'm a doodler and I doodle all day. So what is it that you want in your life? What do you want for yourself 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? When you look back from your deathbed, what is your legacy? And what do you want that to be? Because this is your future you, right? This is your vision for life. Your future is going to happen. And one day you're going to wake up 10 years from now. That's going to be your future you, and your future you will be there. And the difference between people who are elite performers and people who aren't is they discover what they want right now. Just absolutely just peeling back the layers and the layers and the layers and the layers. This is something we do during the purpose exercise of what society has expected of you, what your parents have expected of you, what relationships have expected of you, what your teachers have expected of you, what your mentors have expected of you, what your coaches have expected of you, what your church leaders have expected of you, what society expects of you. Everyone has these expectations. And from the time we're little, we begin to learn what are those expectations. Oh, the expectation is don't touch the hot stove. Well, that's a good expectation. But what if you really want to touch the hot stove, right? Oh, the expectation is you get this kind of job, you do this kind of thing, you work this kind of way. This is who you should be. And depending upon your culture and depending upon who you're raised by and your environment, it's going to look different for different people. Some people have massive expectations that they grow up to be a doctor or a lawyer. Some people have massive expectations that they grow up and you've got to change society, and it just depends on who you are. The problem with those expectations is at some point you have to take sole responsibility for who you are, and you've got to cast off all those expectations so you can have expectations of yourself. All right, enough about that. This is like 6 to 8 weeks worth of work that I do with clients. For our purposes, you can pick a purpose for this season of your life right now. That's a clock. Boop, 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 boop. All right. And you can decide to the best of your ability what you want in your future and what you want for yourself right now. All right. Enough about that. If you have questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me and we'll chat through it. All right. So when you see this Executive Edge, which you've already some of you have downloaded and you've been waiting for this video. Cool. Here it is. Here's what we're looking at. The entire purpose of this is to make sure that everything you do is aligned with your purpose and is intentionally creating the life that you've determined that you want. All right. That's how we get more time back. That's how we know we're doing the right actions to build the right things. You don't want to build a family. It would be ridiculous for you to have things on here that would build a family. If you don't want to advance in your career, you love what you're doing, you just kind of, oh no, this is about, I want to create more time for myself so I can play more. Cool. Then you don't want to have much stuff on here that has to do with your career. If those are things you want, then maybe there are things that shouldn't be on here, like helping someone move. I mean, I help my friends move, but it's got to be a me first. Especially if you're so intentional about your values that you value helping other people, you can't help everyone. So you're still going to have to determine who specifically are you going to help and how. Make sense? Cool. So let's dive into this. And this is very first thing I do here is I throw on the date. So let's just say it's 10/17/23. Awesome. That's the date. Now I know. I usually also put down on here, yeah. It's Tuesday. Now I know. That's it. All right. Real simple. But then I go to the important stuff. All right. So I'm going to walk you through what these different sections are and how exactly you use them. All right. So this first section up here, these are values. All right. What do I deeply value today? And you can determine it. Right now, I'm in a season of life where I value energy. I want more energy in my body, in my soul, in my spirit, in my life. I value connection. This is probably always on here. Relationships mean the world to me. So I want to be connecting with people. All right. That's something that's of massive importance to me. And then I value making an impact. Okay. That's it. These are the three things. I'm just picking three, right? I value other things, but these are the three most important things. And these, we want them to show up everywhere we go on this sheet, because if it's on the sheet, it's in your life. That's it. This is a way of downloading from your brain. This is just a tool to download from your brain. How am I going to live life today? Then I come down here and I put in my purpose. All right. Now I've already put it in here, and this is an abbreviated version, so it fits, but basically connecting with myself and with others on such a deep level so that we can create new life experiences together, changing lives and creating massive ripple effects for generations. The people I work with and the people that I impact in life, I want it to have a massive change, transformation that is affecting their children and their children's children. Sounds lofty. It's not. Or maybe it is. It's for me now, it's just the norm. This is what I want. And you've got to fill this piece out. You've got to fill this piece out. And if you haven't gone through a process of finding out your purpose, don't sweat it. All right. You can, and it says down here, you can't see it, but it says right down there, everything on this page should be aligned with this statement, right? And so that's what we're talking about. But for this season in life, those words are there so you can say, if you don't know exactly what your purpose is, pick a purpose. Just pick one. You know, I think I would like for my purpose to be to help others. I think I would like for my purpose to be to help other people have a better quality of life. Whatever it is, your purpose is going to have to do with others on some level and with yourself, which is why down here mine says connect with myself first. All right. So once we've got that on there, everything on this sheet has to do with my purpose and my values. Got it? Cool. So let's move on. Let's move into projects. This is critical. Most people, all they have on their planner are times that they're supposed to be doing very specific things and a checklist. I don't work much with checklists. You'll see them on the daily non-negotiables right here, a bit of a checklist, but I don't make out this huge checklist of things to do. What I want you to do and what we found is the most effective, and this is Executive Edge 4.8 or whatever version this is, because I've continually upgraded these. I've been using this with executives. I've been using it myself personally for the last 10 years to help them move forward the most important things. Think about these three projects as the big rocks. I'm sure you're familiar with this analogy if you've done any of this work before. If you've got a jar and you've got some really big rocks and you've got some medium-sized rocks, then you've got some pebbles and then you've got some sand. Well, if you put all the sand and all the pebbles into that jar, you have no room for the big rocks. But if you put your big rocks in first, you focus and get really intentional about your big projects first, then you can put in the smaller rocks, then you can put in the pebbles and they'll go down, then you can pour in the sand and that will just find everything, every little available space. And then if you fill it up with water after that, there's still going to be room for water. All right. This is what's so cool. When you're intentional, you're doing the right actions in the right order. You're going to find so much time for the very tiny things in life that you still appreciate. So I'm going to say that the very first thing that I'm going to focus on here is business growth. Now that sounds pretty big for a project, and I'm doing it this way on purpose. So if you, oh yeah, I want to grow my business. Okay, that's too large of a project. All right, so we can't do that. What we've got to do is, oh, and I'll walk you just through how I did this. I want to create a lead magnet for my business. If you don't know what a lead magnet is, that's okay. That's something just like this video, just like this Executive Edge Elite Daily Planner that I want to share with people. Massive impact, totally giving it away for free, including this training. But what it does do is it allows me to offer some value into someone's life to help change their life and also help us connect. It begins to build relationships. So what do I know I need to do on this? Well, I need to, first of all, review my Executive Edge and make sure it's up to date and it's functioning exactly the way I want it to. I do this once a year with this. So let's just do it before I put this out. Then what I want to do is I want to start some sneak previews. Okay, so what's that mean? Oh no, my pen stopped writing. Sneak previews. That's pretty simple. Okay, sneak preview is I'm going to start hinting on my social media that I am going to be sharing this with people. And then eventually I'm going to share it with people. So what I actually probably will put down here is socials, you know, and I'm going to create all the graphics for those. Okay. That's a big part of this project. Again, we're just picking steps that move this entire project forward. That's it. But I know if I'm focusing on these, I don't get sidetracked by some stupid little thing like, oh, do I have enough printer? Do I have enough ink in my printer? All right. That's not what I want to be focusing on to move my life forward. Okay. I can like just share that out to an assistant or something like that. Okay, then I'm going to have to create a web page to be able to, we call this a landing page in the business, but I just need a web page. It's the page you're sitting on right now, and it's got to be created. So I got to make sure that that's created, right? Then I've got to share my socials for sure. And then the final thing is I'm going to have conversations with people because I love building relationships, particularly with people who have said, hey, I appreciate what you have to say from what I see on your Instagram or on your Facebook or on your TikTok or what on your threads or on LinkedIn, whatever it is, however you found me. And this is how we get alignment. This is how, when I end up working with somebody, usually they say, yeah, I know we need to work together. Let's do it. So the big project, this is the big project, right? It's creating this lead magnet, crucial for business. And these are all the things that need to be done. All right. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to do two other projects. All right. You're going to put project 2 right in here. You're going to put project 3 right in here. But the one thing I'm going to do, and there's space for right here, is I want to make sure that my projects are aligned with my values. So what does this for sure align with? Well, this for sure aligns with B, which is connection. So I'm going to circle B. And it also aligns with impact because it creates an impact. All right. Now I get energy from doing this, but I'm not specifically going to circle that. Why do I have these here? So I know that every project I do, everything that's on this page, it's connected to my values. If it isn't, I'm not doing it. Does that make sense? Disc golf will end up on here. I'll show you where. Why? Because I love it. I enjoy it. It gives me energy. And it's also decent body movement if you're walking, 36 holes. And if you're throwing a disc for 36 holes, right? So it's going to end up, and I'll show you where it goes. It's not quite a project. If I was building a disc golf course, that would be a project. So you're going to have all three of these things, all three of these projects laid out here, right? Project 1, project 2, project 3. And you'll have them listed, and you'll list out, these are just the things that need to be done in order to complete that project. This is the coolest thing ever. You don't have to complete the project in a day, but you do have to do something on the list to move the project forward. So if we're at the very start and I've got to review the executive edge as it is and then make any changes, that's going to end up as a block period on my calendar. Everything that's on my calendar is coming from this. All right. My schedule is an extension of my intentions right here. And so when I put what's on here on my calendar, this is how I make sure if I do this the night before, I know already I've filled out my calendar and I've picked the time that I'm going to review my executive edge. And when I get up and when I do that, I just cross it off. And here's what I know. If that's the only thing I've done to move this project forward, I know by the end of the week, this project gets done. How many projects have you had that are just ongoing because you didn't prioritize each of the steps that you needed to take and execute? I know how simple this sounds. You need to understand. And if you probably reflect immediately in the short, 10 or 15 minutes that we've been talking so far, you've probably discovered, oh, I'm out of alignment. Oh, I'm not prioritizing my values. Oh, I'm trying to do too many projects, right? This is a way to keep you focused. Wherever you're focused, that's where you're going to send your energy. That's the direction of your life. Okay. And then you just do this with each project. You'll have 3 projects up here. You know, this first one is about business. The second one might be about your personal life. Maybe it's your health, right? I'm in the process of building a gym in my garage right now. So that's what I'd have there. And I'd have everything on this project list, from researching and finding weights and equipment, to how do I get airflow through there, to do I need to put up some insulation for sound in there if I'm blaring music so my neighbors aren't pissed off at me. And you just walk through the project. You might have 2 business and 1 personal. You might have business. You might have your relationships on here. Okay. Different seasons of your life, you're going to have different things on here. 3 projects. If you say to me, Brad, I've got more than 3 projects I need done in my life, I'm going to say, great, but you won't be able to do them effectively. If you're focused on 10 projects at the same time, you are going to have 10 crappy projects, maybe 9 crappy projects and 1 project that's passing. It's just okay. If you want to be an elite performer, pick 3 things, 3 big projects, break them down into steps, and everything on here, all you want to do, and I'll show you what I've done already. Let me zoom this in. There we go. I've already reviewed, done. I've done my socials, done. I've built the web page, done. I've started sharing this on my socials, done. And I've actually started connections. So this project's just about done. I'm right now in the process. The only thing missing on this web page is this video I'm creating right now. That's enough on projects. I think you get it. All right. The next space we have right here is people to connect with today and the desired outcome. Okay. So I'll tell you right now, this is one of my most sacred areas. Okay. So I'll tell you, like, I've got Chris Lee. I know we're connecting today. I'm putting this down because it's move forward in life. Right. I'm also putting down 10:30 my time, right? Which is in about 15 minutes. I have a call with my buddy Chris every day. We talk a little bit about our business. We talk a little bit about our personal lives, and we name the thing that we have to get done today, our non-negotiables. What's the most important thing for moving our life forward to have the elite future self show up? That's it. And so I know I'm meeting with him. I've got a call with Matt, who is a client. I've got a call with somebody else who is a client, no last names. That's happening later on today. And I know what I'm doing for this. I need to schedule with him and basically confirm. This is, I know we're moving forward on some of the projects that we've already had, but you just want to have, these are people you need to connect with, and what's the outcome. I also know that there is a car in my future this week. So I know I need to connect with the DMV, need to find out some things. Basically, I just need some info on that. I know that I also am going to talk to my about my taxes, right? So I'm going to talk to my accountant. I need some info from that person. Whoever you need to talk to, whoever you need to connect with. These can be clients, these can be potential clients. These are the most important conversations you need to have. Okay. And so you can see there's room for, what is there, close to 10, 8 to 10 people on here. Sometimes I add on over, I drop down to here and I'm like, oh, gotta call my mom. For what, you know, we just took a trip to Pennsylvania. And but before that, my mom was actually on here. She was actually over here on the left-hand side. But these are people. Connecting with people is so important and so valuable. And so when you make them a priority, you know they feel cared for. They feel valued. This is how for years, my rent was over here. And so it'd be my landlord. And I just knew, how do I need to connect with them? I needed to send them my rent. Back in the day when I was using this, when I would literally just send checks 10 years ago, my landlord would be on there and I'd send rent. Okay. And then as I have these conversations, I just check them off. Done, 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 done. Oh, geez, I still got to, that's right. I got to make sure I get a hold of the DMV. Now, What I do is I put chunks and blocks on my calendar for reaching out to people. Okay. That's how I do it. My email isn't open all the time. That's just one of my preferences. There are 2 specific times during the day that I check my emails. And so I just know when I get to that point in my day, I look at my calendar, which is a whole nother video. I don't need to show you how to use a calendar. I was going to say figure it out, but a lot of people haven't figured out. This goes hand in hand with your calendar, this sheet. Okay. Makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is the connecting with people section. Critical. It's got to be on your scheduler, in my opinion. It's got to be on your daily planner. Now, I love to walk. I didn't used to, but I do now. These are your daily non-negotiables. These are the things that have to happen. So I'm just going to go in order of the things I know. You'll determine what your daily non-negotiables are. These are the things that, as a habit, if you do them daily, they will move your life forward. These are things we're trying to incorporate into our identity. Workout, that's on there 4 times a week. Journal. Journaling is an important part of my process. I love doing my cold therapy. So helpful for my mental health. And then anything else that's going to be on here has to be on there. Now, I know that I've got to ship something. It's a package and it's got to be done today. So it's a non-negotiable. All right. That is the non-negotiables, the things that you're willing in life to fight for. Then we get down here to the what will I do to enjoy life and celebrate it today? Well, I know this evening I'm cooking dinner with my daughters. I love doing that. All right. They're my little sous chefs, so they'll do the mise en place and all the prep. This is just a way that I love to connect with my daughters. I love to teach them how to cook, how to sharpen a knife, how to, chop properly, all this good stuff. And we love to do it. So that's going to happen. And then I know I'm also watching a movie with my daughters tonight. Okay. And then what is it for you? If it's like, oh, I'm playing hockey tonight. Cool. Oh, I'm reading my book tonight. Cool. But if you don't have things that in your day that it's not, you are rewarding yourself, but if these are things that bring you to life, these are things that help you celebrate that you're alive. Yeah, there are seasons when you're going to work from maybe 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then the reward is you get to fall down and go to sleep. You may have seasons of that, but I try to build in every single day something that I enjoy, something that brings me fully present, because it's the kind of life I want to live. If you're doing that every day, when you end up on your deathbed, you don't look back and go, oh, geez, I wish I would have I won't look back and go, I wish I would have spent more time with my daughters. Does this make sense? And this is the Executive Edge Elite Daily Planner. I hope you find this helpful. If you have questions, let me know. If you're interested in walking through the exercises I do with clients for your purpose, for your vision, for your future self, finding out exactly what you want, and then reverse engineering a plan that helps you get there, let me know. Bradley@bradleygrinnen.com, or however you got this, just DM me. You know me from somewhere. Find me. Just say, hey, Brad, I think I might want to talk. We'll have a conversation. I'll ask you a bunch of questions. We'll get clarity at least on what your next steps are. And if I feel like I can help you long-term and it's a fit, I'll let you know. There will be zero pressure in that conversation. This is about helping you figure out what are my next steps for raising the quality of my life, getting clear on my purpose and my intentions, finding out exactly what kind of vision I want to lay out for my future. Feel free to connect me with anybody else who would like this, and I'll be happy to share it with them. Thank you all so much. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, whatever your day looks like. I don't know what day of the week you're on. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.